I was born July of 62 in a training school, and what I've heard from family members is I almost got lost in the system if my grandmother didn't come get me. I never knew what that meant at the time, but I'm glad she was there. I knew I was black. No one had to tell me that. It was just that she never talked about whom she came from. I never heard her talk about her father or her mother, at least not from her. I lost her when I was 9. My mother moved around a lot. I was in 26 schools by the 8th grade. Every time we moved, I'd find a church that didn't matter what denomination it was. I know now my spirit was restless. I was trying to find something or someone and had no clue why. I grew up not knowing who my father was. My mother married a white man when I was 6 years old, so I knew it wasn't him. So I asked to meet my father when I was 9, 6 months after my grandmother died. Shaking my head, I've seen this man all my life. Parties, get-togethers, and some family functions. I started spending a little time with him, but then my mother moved and I wouldn't see him for 2.5 years. At 14, my father took me to meet my grandmother down south. Now I know where my feet, my eyes, my nose, my hands, and my knees come from. So much land over across 2 counties with a bar restaurant on it. Cousins my age. One was growing weed in the middle of the cornfield. A young white lady came into the bar with her young daughter. Ma Isabel told me to address her as Miss. They looked like they hadn't bathed in months, and she was no more than 30. Ma Isabel was 60 or more at the time. She addressed her as Miss, and she called my grandmother Isabel. It was so degrading. All the aunties came to meet me. I remembered the biggest auntie with the long gray braids because she could spit snuff across the yard and hit the pot. I loved her about that. I didn't stick around to hear what they were saying because I wanted to hang out with the cousins. I should have listened to the aunties. I lost Ma Isabel on her 100th birthday, and now I have 2 grandmothers gone and no info. In 2015, my father called me to tell me we were Creek Indian, and by the way, I have cancer. That was the size of the conversation. We never talked a lot, so the only info I got from him was that. When he passed in 2016, my younger brother called me to kind of explain who we are and where our land was, and that we could build on it, but we can't sell it. Still, not a lot of information. He can only tell me what he knows. Still trying to find things out and beating myself up about it until I met Destiny, my cousin. Met her looking for another cousin. So now I'm on a journey that Destiny's helping me with, and my spirit is more content. I now know who I am and who I come from. I am Mi'kmaq and Creek.